distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and all of my new family members in Wisconsin. For many of you, Foxconn's story in Wisconsin and the United States only began about 1 year ago. However, many of you may not know, but 44 years ago, I got my first break as a young businessman right here in the Midwest. In 1974, I got my first order from Chicago-based TV manufacturer, Zenith. There is an old saying, don't forget where your blessing comes from. If not for this opportunity American gave me 44 years ago, I may not be here. Today, 44 years later, I come back to the Midwest to make a major investment in Wisconsin to repay a kindness to the people who give me a chance to realize my own dream. Thank you. Wisconsin has been the manufacturing hub of America. It has the skill set, the hardworking attitude, the cultures, and then people to support the transformation to a high-tech hub and to lead the future. We are here together to celebrate the groundbreaking of the Wisconsin Valley Science and Technology Park, American new high-tech innovation hub and smart cities and home to Americans' first and only TIT fab. This $10 billion investment will create 13,000 jobs in Wisconsin. And not just any jobs, but high-tech jobs, high-paying jobs, high-potential jobs, high-value jobs. Wisconsin Valley will bring traditional industry, high-tech, and AI together into one place, creating a community where the best talent in America want to working and live. To Silicon Valley and Boston, Wisconsin Valley is coming. I would like to give my thanks to Speaker Paul Ryan for his support over the past year. I also want to express my thanks and appreciation to government workers for having the foresight to see the positive impact of our investment on the Wisconsin economy. He and his team have confirmed why we selected Wisconsin over many other states who want our investment. Finally, I would like to thank you, President Trump, for being with us today. I've seen it before, and I will say it again. If it were not for your president, Mr. Trump, Donald Trump, I would not be here today. As a global businessman, I have invested many businesses around the world. President Trump is one of the few leaders who has shown me such passion, attention, and support. His commitment and execution is truly one of the best. Over the past year, I've seen President Trump several times. Each time he seems to me, he only says three things: jobs, jobs, jobs. He truly cares about improving the lives of the American people. I hope that more people will come in to invest, to set up R&D centers and advanced factories, and to create more jobs, taking advantage of American talent, especially in Wisconsin. A strong Wisconsin is good for Midwest. A strong Midwest is good for America. A strong America is good for the world. That is a win-win-win. And now I give you our next speaker, the President of the United States, Mr. Donald Trump.
Months ago, this was a field, and now it's one of the most advanced places of any kind you'll see anywhere in the world. It's incredible. And I want to be thanking Terry Gou, chairman of Foxconn and a friend of mine, one of the most successful businessmen in the world. Very few people even close. And I want to thank him for investing in Wisconsin and investing in the United States. And this is just the beginning. I know, Terry, this is just the beginning. This is one of the largest plants in the world. And when you think in terms of 20 million feet, if you build in Manhattan a 1 million-foot building, that's a very big building. They don't get much bigger. And here you're talking about more. Think of it, more than 20 million feet. And that's probably going to be a minimal number. So I'm thrilled to be here in the Badger State with the hardworking men and women of Foxconn working with you. Moments ago, we broke ground on a plant that will provide jobs for much more than 13,000 Wisconsin workers. Really something. Really something. Thank you, fellas. I want to also thank Secretary Steve Mnuchin, who's here. Thank you, Steve. Secretary Wilbur Ross. Secretary Alex Acosta. And Administrator Linda McMahon, friend of mine for a long time, Linda. Where's Linda? Where's Linda? Thank you. And also, Paul just left. I said, go, because we got to pass legislation. We're passing so much. Look at what's happening with our Supreme Court. Look at the victories we've had. Look at the victories we've had. And Terry, I didn't speak to him about it, but he'll be in particular happy about one of those victories. Do you know which one we're talking about? I think you do. So I want to thank Paul Ryan. I want to thank our great Congressman Glenn Grothman. Where's Glenn? Glenn, thank you very much. Great job, Glenn. And we have so many other officials. But I have to thank a man who I gave it to. It's like handing the football off, and he ran for 2,000 yards that game, because most people couldn't have done it. Terry and I have had a great relationship. And Terry was thinking about doing this. And Masa's son, you want to talk about another successful guy. He was in my office. He said, a friend of mine set it up. It said, I want to invest $50 billion in the United States. I said, you don't mean 50 billion, you mean 50 million. And that would have been okay. That would have been worth about a 5-minute meeting, 50 million. And so I thought he was saying 50 million. And when it was set up, it was 50 million, and I wanted to make it quick. But I heard about him. He, along with Terry, they're best friends, he came out, and I said, so good, what are you going to invest in? He said, yes, we're going to do. I said, you can't do that for 50 million. He said, no, I'm going to invest 50 billion. And he misrepresented to me. Because I can tell you, he did. Because he spent much more than $50 billion in the United States. And that was 2 years ago. And now they're going to do a lot more. So I want to thank Masa's son. Masa, are you back there? Come. Come. I got to get him up here. Come on up here, Masa, if you can understand what I'm saying. Come here. He doesn't play games. Doesn't like small numbers, right? You proud of Terry?
Yes, I am.
Say something about Terry. Come on.
Terry is my best friend, and we are the brothers.
What about me, no?
Of course. So I promised the first time I met President Trump, just before you became official president.
That's right.
I think I was the first CEO came to celebrate you.
It's true. It's true.
And I said $50 billion investment and 50,000 jobs to the United States. Because I said, no, I couldn't have decided such a thing before this new president. Because I said, now I see the passion, I see the opportunity, I'm more energized, so I made a voluntary promise. And now I'm very happy. We're making great success, and I said, I have one more thing to promise, which is Foxconn.
That's right.
So those 3 things I promised, and I did not have official permission from Terry, but I promised.
You brought him along, right?
Yes.
You brought him along.
But I'm so happy today that my promise came to true. So this is a great historical moment, because I think United States did not have the ecosystem for new technology last 20 years, and now this is the beginning of new ecosystem of high-tech manufacturing back into the United States.
I'll see you back. Thank you, Masa. One of the great businessmen of the world also, those two. That is some combination standing backstage. I said, whoa. But they like each other, they love each other. And his 50 billion turned out to be 72 billion so far. He's not finished yet. And that doesn't include Foxconn. So, big stuff. I want to thank another very special man. I hope he can hear me, because I want him to come on stage, because I handed the ball over. Terry's a friend of mine, and I recommended Wisconsin in this case. And I'll be recommending Ohio, and I'll be recommending Pennsylvania, and I'll be recommending Iowa, and I'll be recommending, but this was something that just seemed right. And the reason is that you have a car plant in a very nice location. And I flew over that plant with another great Wisconsinite, Reince. You know Reince. Good man. I think he's around here or something. He's a great guy. And I said, that would be a good site. The only problem was that site's about 1 1/100th the size of what they did here. You could have put one of the smaller buildings on that side. This is big stuff. But I handed it over. I said, Terry, this place is such a great place. You know, I just realized the other day they told me when we won the state of Wisconsin, it hadn't been won by a Republican since Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1952. Did you know that? And I won Wisconsin. And I like Wisconsin a lot, but we won Wisconsin. And Ronald Reagan, remember? Wisconsin was the state that Ronald Reagan did not win. And that was in 1952. And I've gotten to know the people here. They're incredible. And I said to Terry, this would be an incredible place. Then I started hearing the magnitude of what he's doing. This is magnitude like nobody's ever seen. Some of you have been able to see it. And this is just the beginning. This is just the absolute beginning. But so I had this incredible company going to invest someplace in the world, not here necessarily. And I will tell you they wouldn't have done it here except that I became president, so that's good. But they wanted to do it someplace now in the United States. And I immediately thought of the state of Wisconsin. Terry came up, fell in love with the people, fell in love with the location, fell in love with the concept here. You know, he's going to make robotics here. They're doing many other things, including full television sets. They're doing many things here, and they'll do a lot of expansion. But I had to hand off the ball. And in private life, you know, you hand off the ball, and sometimes they do a good job, and sometimes it's like, what happened? It didn't work out. Why didn't it work out? Because they didn't know what they were doing. And sometimes that happens. And there are very few governors that I could have said, good luck. You're going to build one of the largest operations in the world, over 20 million feet. Good luck. I gave it to Scott Walker. He literally didn't have to make a phone call to me for the last year and a half. He is an unbelievably talented guy. I'm telling you, Scott Walker. Scott, come here. Is Scott around, please? Scott Walker. Governor Scott Walker, come here. Come here. Two things in addition to whatever he said, he should say.
Well, thanks, Mr. President. You mentioned you got the ball rolling. Foxconn would not be in America if not for you. Back on April 27th, when you met with Terry Goh and told him about not only being in America, but told him there was that pretty good site. That's an honest truth. In fact, Reince Priebus will tell you, he looked at that site. The only thing we said was we got to get a bigger site than that because this is much bigger than we ever thought. And your team in the White House, Jared, your cabinet, everybody was just hands on deck. Great team effort here, and we couldn't be more proud to have Foxconn's 8K technology LCD panels for the first time ever outside of Asia, made in the USA, proudly here in the state of Wisconsin. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Scott. Thank you. We love you, man. Very cool. So I gave Scott the ball, and he carried the ball, and if that were football standards, NFL standards, he ran for about 2,000 yards in one game. Special guy. Special talent. Forget about special guy. He's a special talent. So I hope he doesn't run against me, because that comment will come back to haunt me. He is a special talent and a special person. As Foxconn has discovered, there is no better place to build, hire, and grow than right here in the United States. America is open for business more than it has ever been open for business. Between our low taxes, our cutting of regulations, and we're not finished with the regulation. And we'll have regulation, but it's sensible regulation. You'll be able to get things approved quickly or disapproved. Sometimes it's going to be disapproved. We have clean air. We have crystal clean water. We're going to do all of the things you have to do, but we're going to speed up the process. You have people that wanted to build a plant like this. It would have taken them 25 years to get approvals. 25 years. They got them almost immediately. And the federal government had a lot to say. We had to get going, and they did. And here we are, and they're starting other sections right now. So we're open for business, made in the USA. It's all happening, and it's happening very, very quickly. We've created 3.4 million jobs since the election. including over 300,000 manufacturing jobs. And as you saw, the recent poll just came out, the highest percentage of happiness by manufacturers in the history of the poll, which is a very old poll. Unemployment claims are the lowest they've been in 44 years. Unemployment for African Americans is at the lowest level in history. Unemployment for Hispanic Americans, the lowest level in history. Unemployment among women, and I've been saying it, it's just changed today, is at the lowest level, and I've been telling you 21 years. It's now at the lowest level in 65 years, and it's going to be in history very soon. History sounds even better. For the workers, after 20 years, wages are rising. Remember, I used to say they did better 20 years ago than they did 2 years ago. Now they're starting to do better, and they're having their choice of jobs where they can enjoy what they're doing. And a recent study found that 95% of manufacturers, they want to get going, and they're going to get going. And we have a lot of these things happening in the United States, but to me, this is always going to be the special one, because people that are highly sophisticated, business people that have come out, looked. I had a friend came out 2 weeks ago because he heard about it. He is a highly sophisticated business person that you all know. He could not believe it. He called me up, and he would love to tell me, it's nothing. He's that kind of a guy. Not really a nice guy, but he's a great businessman. He could not believe what he's seen. We are demanding from foreign countries, friend and foe, fair and reciprocal trade. We have been very much taken advantage of as a country. We've lost our companies. We've lost our jobs. They build a product, they send it in. That's why this is so beautiful, because this is as great as there is anywhere in the world, and we do it within our country. And I just want to let you know, we've put tariffs on steel and aluminum. Those businesses are through the roof. U.S. Steel called me up. They're expanding or opening 6 plants. They haven't done that in 35 years. Georgetown Steel in South Carolina closed 4 years ago, closed and shuttered. They're open for business, 600 people. That's happening all over the country, all over the country. So I want to level out, and I'm doing it, level out the playing field. And all of the things you hear, some, I mean, frankly, the smart people love it. Some people don't understand it. But we're going to be treated fairly. When our great farmers in Iowa, Wisconsin, upper New York State, when we want to sell our dairy products into Canada, they charge us 275%. 275%. Essentially what they're saying is, we don't want your product. Because who's going to pay that? So we're going to level out the playing fields, folks. They send us a lot of stuff. No tax. We're going to work it out. It's going to be friendly. We love Canada. We love Canada. I love Canada. But we're going to work it out. Mexico, last year, made $100 billion, plus they have a 17% almost VAT tax that nobody even thinks about. So we were behind the 8 ball, because that tax was there at the beginning. Right from the beginning, we were behind the 8 ball. Mexico wants to make a deal. We're going to make a deal with a lot of people. China. I have a lot of respect for China. I think it's great. And President Xi, I think he's great. He's a friend of mine. But we lost $500 billion over the last number of years. $500 billion a year. We've helped rebuild China. Someday they'll say thank you. But we don't want to do that anymore. We want to have a fair and balanced situation. And it doesn't have to happen immediately, but it has to be fair. Because our country has never done better than it's doing right now. European Union, last year, trade imbalance. We had a deficit of $151 billion. They send us Mercedes. They send us by the millions the BMWs, cars by the millions. We send them a bushel of corn and they reject it. They have a barrier. They don't want our corn because they have their farmers. Okay, I understand. But, you know, if you don't want our agricultural product, we don't want your cars. I mean, you know, it's not such a complicated formula. And they're going to come back and they're going to say, let's talk. Frankly, don't tell them I said it, but they already have. Don't ever tell them I said that. You'll screw up my negotiations. But we're doing good. Your opinion, they're great. They're great people. And it'll all work out. Many, many other cases. We've actually made a deal with South Korea. We took the deal. I expired it. It was a terrible deal. It was supposed to give us 250,000 jobs, done by Hillary Clinton. And she was right. It did give 250,000 jobs. So she was right. It gave it to South Korea, not to us. This was not a good deal. But we've renegotiated the deal, and subject to signing. I always say subject to signing because lots of things happen. And if it did happen, that's fine. But we made a new deal with South Korea. Wonderful deal for both. And our farmers now are protected. And our tariff, which has been paid for years, which was expiring, has now been extended for a long period of time on trucks. At the center of America's economic resurgence are the massive tax cuts that I signed into law 6 months ago. We slashed tax rates for individuals, and we did numbers for business. We did tremendous, tremendous amount of work. And it's the largest tax cut ever approved, ever gotten in the history of our country. Tax cuts and tax reform. Included in there is Anwar, the largest drilling site potentially in the world in Alaska. And we got rid of the individual mandate, which is going to be great for the people here and the people that work here. In other words, we got rid of Obamacare's individual mandate, where you have the privilege of paying a lot of money for not having to buy health care. Think of that. Think of that one. You pay a lot of money not to have health care. So it's gone. Most unpopular provision in Obamacare by far. And Obamacare is largely gone now. And we're opening up, Secretary Acosta's here, Secretary Azar's here. We're opening up unbelievable health care, cross state lines, highly competitive, really great health care. Everyone's competing for it. All of the insurance companies are dying to get it. They all want to compete. The costs are going to be low. And it's costing our country nothing. Nothing. And it's so much better than any form of insurance. We have association, and then Secretary Azar is coming out in 3 weeks with a massive plan. You won't believe it. And we did repeal and replace Obamacare. Unfortunately, one senator decided to put the thumb down late in the morning. And that was not a good thing when he put that thumb down. But we've made up for it, and in many ways, more than made up for it. But that was a sad day to me. But we repealed and replaced, but now we have something that ultimately I think is going to be better. And that's what we do. Today we're seeing the results of the pro-American agenda. America first, make America great again, all those hats. Greatest phrase ever used in politics, I suspect, right? That's the greatest, make America great again. So what are we using in 2 years, 2.5 years? Can you believe 2.5 years? So soon. You know what the phrase is, right? Huh? That's right. Keep America great, of course, exclamation point, right? Keep, because we can't say in 2 years, so we were here for 4 years, we can't say make America great again. But when you look at what we're doing, it's very simple. It's called Keep America Great. We'll get you nice hats. Maybe we'll make them green this time instead of red. Green, representing cash. This plant will manufacture state-of-the-art LCDs, adding an average of $3.4 billion to the state's economy every single year. And by the way, I don't know this, but I understand life and I understand politics, I guess, or I wouldn't be here. in a short period of time. I must have potential, right? Because here we are all together. But I assume the Democrats are probably saying no deal is any good. You know, they say any deal you do. You know, the Democrats, as headed by Nancy Pelosi and Maxine Waters. You know, they have a new leader, Maxine Waters. This is our new leader. But I assume, you know, because any deal you make, they have no idea what the deal is. We had a couple of them recently, a trade deal. And one of the Democrats got up, the deal doesn't work. And he didn't know the deal. Nobody ever shared it to him. We didn't know the deal because we hadn't even negotiated it yet. And he was saying, but that's the way it is. They always will criticize. This is one of the great deals ever. What this is going to do, and I don't even know that anybody's critical of it. I can't imagine they could be. I know that Terry is investing $10 billion in the state. $10 billion. Incredible. So even at this early stage, the economic benefits of this new plant are being felt in 60 of Wisconsin's 72 counties already. Don't worry, in another 3 weeks, it'll be 72. Foxconn has already contracted 27 local Wisconsin companies to begin construction of the main facility. As big as this is just a toy compared to the main facility. And I'm pleased to report that Foxconn intends to build 100% of the factory with beautiful American concrete and beautiful American steel made right here. So important. Our steel industry, our aluminum industry, our solar panel industry, it's all coming back. They're coming back fast. One of the many people here with us today who will benefit from this plant is Celia Griffin. She is a mother of 3 and a member of the International Union of Operating Engineers, Local 139. Celia, could you come up, tell us what this Foxconn job, this really incredible plant has done for you and for your family? Celia.
Hello, everyone. Giving honor to God, I started in 2005 as an operating engineer, and Hoffman Construction gave me my first job in a haul truck. I went on from there to work for Gilbane, building the Northwest Mutual Towers in Milwaukee. Now the two families are together, and they've brought me to Foxconn to work in the haul truck again, and me and my family are grateful and very pleased to be at home again. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Celia. Thank you, Celia. And Celia, we want to tell, by the way, Harley-Davidson, please build those beautiful motorcycles in the USA, please, okay? Don't get cute with us. Don't get cute. They don't realize the taxes are coming way down. They don't realize that yet. Spend a lot of time with them. Build them in the USA. Your customers won't be happy if you don't, I'll tell you that. Now let's hear from Dawn Wallace. After she and her husband Dave worked hard to raise 3 beautiful children, Dawn recently decided to take advantage of the new job opportunities that Foxconn created right here in Wisconsin. And I'd like to have, can you come up, please? Where are you? Good. Hi, Dawn. Hi.
So, did you receive any of my tweets, President Trump?
I did.
You did.
I did.
Stay-at-home mom turned into Foxconn builder.
That's right, I did.
I would just like to thank Hoffman for giving me the opportunity to start something new. What a perfect way than Foxconn. I was super excited when I heard it was coming in our area.
Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Good job. Thank you, Dawn. I'd also like to welcome Chris Kowski, one of the project managers of this site, who has really done a fantastic job. Chris, please.
Hello, everybody. So one of the best parts of my job is getting to put these teams together. It's one thing to build them. It's analytical. We look at pictures and then we make them into the real thing in the real world. But in order to do that, I need currently 110 people to help me every day. And they show up early and they go home late, and we spend time together, probably more time together than we spend with our families. But they're there every single day, and they do everything that we ask, and we get the job done on time. And that's the part that makes it special. So we get together out there every day, and we make sure to care for each other, take care of each other. We actually treat it like it's a family. It's a dangerous job in some ways, but we look out for each other. And I just think that it's probably the best thing. I've really been doing this since I was about 10 years old. And I can't believe I'm standing here talking to you all today about it. So Foxconn is probably one of the best things that's ever happened to Hoffman Construction, and certainly for Chris Kowski. And I appreciate the opportunity. President Trump, thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Okay.
Thank you. Great job. And by the way, as soon as I'm finished here, I'm going to hop on that plane. I'm going back to Washington, and we're going to pick ourselves one great United States Supreme Court justice to take the place of a great man. Justice Kennedy, really a great person, great man. I'm so honored that he decided to do this during our term. And I think that showed confidence in us. But he is a very special person, special man, Justice Kennedy. And just remember that name. He's done some very important decisions, very important things. Highly respected, and we love him. So we'll be picking somebody, and we'll be hopefully making you very proud. So important. You know, when I ran for president, I started hearing, outside of obviously defense and all of that, the most important decision a president can make is the picking of United States Supreme Court justices, if you're lucky enough to do that. We had a fantastic choice with Justice Gorsuch, very proud of it, doing a fantastic job. And we're going to try and do just as good. So we're going to start working on that process. We've already started. And hopefully we're going to make you very proud. So just in finishing, I want to say that today's groundbreaking is only one part of the exciting story that is playing out across our nation, all over our nation. Chrysler is shifting production from Mexico to Michigan. Toyota and Mazda will build a new facility in Alabama, a beautiful facility. And we have many other companies coming in, not only the car companies, but this is where the action is. I go around and I see the leaders of different countries, and they always say, congratulations on the great economic success that you're having in the United States. And we have an economy that's almost twice the size of China and much larger than any other. And, you know, if you think we've made so much progress in the last year and a half, it's put us in this position, and we're going up. Nobody's ever seen anything like it. And watch those GDP numbers. We started off at a very low number, and right now we hit a 3.2. Nobody thought that was possible in 4 years, but I think it's going to go a lot higher than that. So you watch those numbers. Each point is $3 trillion and 10 million jobs. Just remember that. Each point. And we already hit a 3.2, and I think we're going to be seeing 4s, and I think we're going to be seeing 5s, too. And I think we're going to go higher than that, but that may be in the second term, okay? Can I have a little break? Right, Steve? our secretary, our great Secretary of the Treasury. Right, Steve? Am I okay saying that, Steve? That's my projection. I think that's your projection, too. Steve Mnuchin. That's his projection, too. You better be right, Steve. In the first quarter of this year, American companies repatriated a record $300 billion that would have never come back to this country. It's overseas profits, bringing the money back home to our country where it belongs. I think we're going to have $3, maybe $4 trillion before that's all over. It was impossible to bring the money back virtually for a lot of reasons. Now they're coming back. In fact, Apple, as you know, Terry makes a lot of the product, laptops, iPhones, makes a lot of them for Apple. And Apple's spending $350 billion. Billion. There's another case. I would have been happy with $350 million, right? But they're spending $350 billion on plants, on building an incredible campus. And Terry's very happy about that. We're also reclaiming our country's proud manufacturing legacy. That's why it's so important that we open up our steel mills again. We need that for purposes of defense. We need that for purposes of legacy. We're restoring America's industrial might, and thanks to the hardworking patriots like you, we're making America greater than ever before. It's greater than ever before. Very shortly, it's all happening. You see it happening. You see what's going on. They're all coming back. We're the place they want to be. To Foxconn and to Terry Go and to all of the amazing Wisconsin workers with us today and all over the state, I want to wish you good luck and congratulations on truly one of the eighth wonder. I think we can say the eighth wonder of the world. This is the eighth wonder of the world. But this is something so special. So I want to just congratulate you all. You're very special people and a very special state. Thank you very much. Thank you to Scott Walker. Thank you, everybody. Great honor to be with you. Good luck. Enjoy this great facility. Thank you.